And a very good evening to you. Here we are again. It's been a little while. So today I'm going to have a look at doing this Matchbox number, oh blimey if I can read it, number 56 Mercedes 450 SEL 1979, and it's a very grubby looking taxi. Some sort of mustardy sort of dark yellow colour. Why it's black in parts, I have no idea. Obviously the previous owners tried to give it some sort of makeover, maybe in pen. Looks like it might have been coloured in black marker pen at some point, and it's just wiped off. Front bit's a bit tarnished, so we'll give this a bit of a buff up. I'm not going to paint the chassis or the base, whatever you call it. Yeah, just use a wire brush and probably a bit of auto sol and try and buff that up, make it all look nice and shiny. Looks like a slight bit of bending there on the rear bumper, but other than that, pretty good condition. Wheels are pretty good, straight, not buckled. Could do with a bit of the old chrome on, so with my new chrome pen, give them a bit of a shine. Other than that, it's got doors that open, probably got a spring mechanism inside to keep them in place. Now, a colleague of mine mentioned that the last couple of models I did, I found some rather disgusting looking bugs inside. Now in here, I don't see any bugs, but I do see a certain amount of fluff. So we shall see what is actually inside these. Just don't forget, 1979 is quite old, and lots of things fall inside. Screen looks a bit tarnished, a bit dull. Obviously, might have been coloured in as well. There's evidence of black pen around the corners and the inside the car itself. The little taxi sign is a bit loose, so I'm just wondering how that's going to drop out once I take the car apart. So with no further ado, we're just going to get the drill bits out. I'm going to start off with a 4mm drill bit, so I'm pretty certain that's going to be big enough for the main rivet. So we'll just insert that into the drill. Okay, and I'm going to hold this on my hand. I've been doing this so many times. Most people use vices to pop them in. As you can clearly see, I have a vice there with rubber mountings, which is probably kind enough to the paint and won't scratch it up if you've got something quite delicate. Rubber inserts. I've got this tiny little vintage anvil vice I do all my banging and bending, and it also holds my little camera mount. But what I'm going to do, because by this point in the stage of fixing up cars and models, I'm a black belt, I say. Yeah, don't laugh. So just going to gently drill until that rivet post there is no more. I want a little bit of it left because obviously I like to click them in afterwards. So that's looking pretty flush. So now there's two smaller rivet posts at the back, and I've got a feeling a 3mm is going to be adequate for those, and that looks about spot on. So we'll get rid of the 4mm drill. I'll reserate again. Always put your tools back, that way you know whether you want them. When you need them again, you'll know where they are. Obviously I'm having trouble putting the drill in because I'm winding it the right way like a pillock. Right, okay, so now we're just going to do the rear ones. So again, very gently, you don't need a load of speed. This way you got more control. There's one. There's two. Lovely. Take that drill bit out. Practice what you preach, Stephen. I'll try to advertise again. These Parkside drill bits, amazing. Stay sharp and they really, really do work. Right, so I can feel that that went really loose. So, yeah, the back's there. So with a little bit of teasing. And why doesn't that front come out? There's nothing holding it there. There's no ridges to the... It should, in theory, just pop out. There we go, pop. Right, so that's the base off. Now these wheels are, sometimes you get a leaf, like a plastic spring holding the wheels in, or a little plastic insert there, and the wheels just clip in under. But these are actually dropped into the alloy chassis and then crimped over. So yeah, and like I said, they're pretty straight. They're not wobbly, the axle's not bent, so minimum effort for that. Now, as with the insides, as I thought, plastic insert just slides out, a bit grubby. Evidence of paint there, which should just come off. Bit of warm water, oh god, no, look at that, yeah, fluff. Rather hoping that's not belly button fluff, but a bit of grub and grime. Right, now the plastic insert, oh, easy peasy, look at that, just pops out. My god, that's filthy. Again, some plastic degradation. It's gone a bit yellowy colour, so we'll have to see what we can do with that. I very much doubt if I can buy this on any of the reproduction sites. It's not one of those cars you probably, oh, that, and the taxi sign just falls out again. Some Pillocks coloured that in black pen, so we'll see how that cleans up. Let's take those old wheels out, shut these in there, keep them in one place, and the taxi sign. Right, so that's it. Now, as I thought, is that little spring. We had these on a model previously, so that should just pop out. So what we do is just open the doors, and that should, with a pair of pointy pliers, it's probably a more technical name for them. There we go, boing, and as usual, I've lost, oh no, there's they are. Both doors are here. So that's the spring out. Pop that in there, doors, and that's the main body of the taxi out. So yeah, that is the original colour. You know that because the inside is the same. No damage, no bending. Looks pretty straight. Same with the doors. They sprayed the outside, but on the inside you can tell. You can still see the alloy, so they obviously didn't give a shit. I mean, didn't really care. Do apologise, swearing. About the inside of the doors. They obviously didn't, you know, this is probably just a bit of overspray from the outside. I don't think it was intentionally sprayed at all. So whether that was hanging up in the factory and they sprayed it. Right, so let's pop all that in there. Those can go back onto my magnetic mount. No, I'm trying to learn by example here. Always keep your workstation tidy. So give it a brush up, get rid of all the alloy off the casting you've just drilled out. This might only be soft alloy, but you'd be surprised what it gets into. So that's in a dustpan and brush. Just chuck that in the bin. Right, so here we go again. So we've got some warm soapy water, and I'm just going to pop in Monster Fluff, the plastic inserts. I mean, the water is not too hot. It quite often helps just soften the paint up or whatever's been on it. So, one toothbrush, two toothbrushes. So we'll just go over it with a very light toothbrush first of all, just to see what actually comes off. See how clean it actually makes it. It's absolutely filthy, absolutely filthy. Yeah, it's very yellow. I don't know what it's been exposed to, but this, you can tell, you can see the difference between the top of the plastic insert and the windscreen, main windscreen. So whatever it's been coloured over with has obviously tainted the plastic. I do not think, by any stretch of imagination, that this is going to go back to its clear state. I might give it a bit of a polish with some auto sole, but who knows. So let's try the main plastic insert. I'm going to use a bit of a harsher toothbrush this time, because that is really ground in. So we're just going to give that a damn good scrub, just to see what sort of condition that comes up into. And again, it's coming up quite well. That bit of black paint there, it's flaking off with my finger. It's softened up enough. You don't really always need harsh chemicals when you're doing these restorations. Sometimes a bit of warm soapy water and a fingernail, but again, that has stained the plastic, that colour marker pen, which is a bit of a shame. So what I probably will do is go over that tow bar with a chrome silver pen, but with this plastic chair I don't think I'll bother really. I mean, I don't think you'll see it that much. It's for my display only. Adds a bit to the history of the car. I say it's not too obvious. I could paint the interior, make it look more realistic, but I don't think it's much point. I'll clean the taxi sign. Not sure if that's going to come up at all with a black pen. Again, I might even have to just spend a bit of time. No, it's not coming off with my nail either. The trouble is, because it's got raised lettering, the pen's gotten in between it. That's just a bit of a shame. So I'm just going to leave it there for a moment and just let it soak in the water. Dry my hands. What I really want to get done is the car and the doors. So here we go, gloves on. If you can remember what's coming next, the magic caustic soda. It's about, what time is it? 7:15, something like that in the evening in England, wherever you're watching this. And it's pretty light outside still, light enough just to, I've got wet hands now, I'm trying to get the damn gloves on. And what I'm going to do is set this up for cleaning in caustic soda. So put the car in, I've got a kettle just boiled, I've let it settle for about 5 minutes, and I'm going to add some caustic soda to the jar, and hopefully it will get the paint off. So we'll be back in a moment just to see how it's done. Right, so we're just going to show you. That's bubbling away in there. That's working. So the paint should be coming off that car. Now I tried something. I put the plastic insert in there, the taxi one, to see if it has any dissolving properties, the caustic soda. Not a lot of paint seems to be coming off. So I just might put a bit more in. Try a bit more. Oh. Right, just bear with me. Right, so that seems to be tougher paint than normal on that car. So what I'm going to do, until that's ready, we're just into 14 minutes of this. I'm going to just have a go at polishing up this windscreen. Now what I use is a chrome metal polish. Get it from any car parts place, Halfords, anywhere like that. If you live in England, you know what Halfords is. So dollop on a cotton bud. Now I find that it's best to do this with water on here and just gently just rub it in first of all. You don't need a lot, just into the parts you want clean. And the windscreen. and just to see if I can get rid of any of this yellowing. Keep it nice and wet, plenty of water. I've got a bit of black coming off from the pen, so it's doing something. Now if it's too gritty, the metal polish you use, or any type of polish, you're just going to make the windscreen dull. So when it starts to squeak, you know you're nearly done. So there's plenty of this. Blimey, it's taking a fair bit of cleaning this. Ooh. Not looking too bad actually, not looking too shabby as they say, a little bit more. Not looking too bad. So if you can hear that, that's plenty shiny enough. Yeah, usually when it starts squeaking, it's more or less done. Oh, blimey. Right, let's rinse it off and have a look. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. It's looking pretty good, in fact. A lot better than it was. Oh, pardon me. Just yeah, no, not too shabby at all. Not too shabby at all. So give that a good rinse off and leave it there to dry. Now what I might do is just try a bit of this Autosol before I run out of time. We're into 18 minutes. Let's try a bit on that black bit there. No, not doing anything. Bugger all. Oh well, worth a try. So we'll rinse that off. Right, not too bad at all. No, I'm quite happy with that. It's come up really shiny. So again, make sure you put stuff back when you finish with it. That tube, I've had it for years. It lasts years and years and years. Go back in there. Let's dry my hands off. So what I'm going to do now is just where do I put that? Oh, for God's sake! Oh, put it back in there. What a twonk! Right. What I'm going to do now is just check. It's 19 minutes, so I've got about 8 minutes left. Is just check on the car, see how the paint's coming off. Hopefully it's removed a lot of it, but I'll be back in a moment. Right, so here we have the model. So I don't think it's had too much success. I might have had my first failure, you know, from the, let's put that down out of the way. Black pen still on that, that's not melted. So what's it doing then? Let's have a look. Oh, actually, no, it started to come off. Yeah, it's getting there. Oh, a bit come off there. What I'm going to do, I don't want to use any more caustic soda because I haven't got a fat lot left, is I'm going to actually use some paint stripper. So I'm running out of tubs here. if I put that in there, I need to get the doors out, bear with me. Right, so slight technical hitch there. I say the caustic soda, I don't know what sort of paint this is, but I have found with these 1970s models sometimes the paint is a little bit more difficult. So, oh excuse me, what a pig. Tried and tested method, the old paint stripper. So we're just going to pop a bit of, oh, that's way too much, and I missed a flipping model completely. Now again, you want to do this with PP on in a well vented area. So just cover the model in the paint stripper, and there you go. Look, should have tried this the first time. That paint stripper's had more of an effect straight away. Look, it's just absolutely ripping into that paint and the doors. Wow, 6 minutes left. I could have saved myself a whole lot of time by doing this in the first place with paint stripper. Isn't it amazing? Sometimes the caustic soda, especially with the older models, shifts it straight away and the bloody paint stripper doesn't. And with this, the paint stripper's done it straight away. And now I've got myself in the right 2 and 8. Sorry for those who don't come from London. And for the benefit of my old mate Dutch, that's 2 and 8 equals I'm in a state. Oh, Cockney rhyme slang, he loves a bit of that. So what I need to do now is just rinse this off and under a tap, get rid of any residue of paint stripper, and clean myself up as well, because I've got paint stripper absolutely everywhere. Okie dokie my peeps. Now then, so with a bit of a scrub, that's come up really well, and actually the casting underneath isn't is hardly tarnished at all, so very pleasing. It's got quite a bit of detail, can clearly read the number plate there, KAB 14T. Yeah, no, that's come up really well, nothing bent, nothing out of shape. Again with the doors, came up very well. Actually tells you it's got right door there, right than the code, so obviously when it came out of the mould they knew which side it was. Yeah, there we go. So that's the car done. Well, clean anyway. The little plastic insert I put them in the caustic soda. No, it still says taxi and there's a little bit of black on it. I might try a little bit of paint strip on it. The paint strip shouldn't melt it because the paint strip's in a plastic container, and it should, with a little dib and dab here and there, just shift that. But otherwise it's not a major problem. It's only a little bit of black on there, but I shall do my best to sort it out. So the next thing is, with just under 4 minutes left, is to decide what colour to paint these. Now I remember when I went to Tenerife many years ago, a lot of these Mercedes taxis were white. Now I didn't really like that baby poo colour it was before, so I might do it white. Now unfortunately I don't have any white primer, but I've got plenty of white paint. I might do it in like a pearlescent white to make it bling a bit. So, and that pearlescent white with a red top, not too sure. Might do a bit of research on Google and see what colour taxis were. Now this is dried out and it's still looking pretty crap, to be honest. More of the water's evaporated. I might have to just try and buff it up a little bit better than that. It's still very yellow. So yeah, I'm not sure that. I think that it's very, yeah, the plastic has hardly come up at all. Very dull still, which is a bit of a shame. I thought it was going to come up a lot better than that. So I've got a polishing wheel on my rotary tool, so I might just try and go over that with fine polish and just see how it comes up. Failing that, I just probably have to make do until I find a donor car with a clearer insert, because I'm pretty sure that this particular model, the plastic inserts won't be available on a website where they do reproductions. So anyway, we'll see what we can do. This one, the driver's insert, again still a little bit dirty as where the colour pen, obviously whatever it was that was used to paint the cars, leaked in. Goodness knows what they use, but it's better than nothing. So there you go, that's that for the minute. So we've got just under 2 minutes left. So I hope you just enjoyed that video. I spent most of my time cleaning all this up, but I'm hoping by now you get learning the process of just how easy it can be if you're organised. I mean, I do drop things, I get things wrong from time to time, although I've been doing these for years, and it's a cheap way of restoring a model car with no real expense. What I might do is on the next video is actually show you the process of spraying the car. I haven't really covered that yet. I've shown you cleaning them and then putting them all back together, but I might just show you with the aid of an assistant, i.e. my son, if he holds the camera, on how I spray these things. So I'm going to leave this until another time. So until then, I shall say toodle pip for now, and all the best to you, and we'll catch you again soon. Bye.